Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Daniel Francis. I'm the creator of the Master Your Stutter program. And in today's interview, I interview one of my clients that have worked with me for, it feels like years and months and years, but really it's been about 30 days. And Nick has evolved so quickly, and he is someone who any advice or any any mentorship I give to him, he's someone who applies it instantly. And I'm super excited to introduce everyone. This is Nick Thorpe, all the way in New York. And Nick, I want you to just really, share with the audience, the reasons why you joined the Master Your Stutter program, and tell us about the last 30 days, and tell us the wins and the big realizations that you had working with myself.
All right, guys. So my name is Nicholas Thorpe, and I'm 20 years old. I go to Utica College. I'm a junior for college. And honestly, from my life story of how I developed into becoming the person I am, I'd say around freshman year of college, which was 2018, I was more of like the non-confident person. I wouldn't really speak to people. I genuinely felt like my communication skills were terrible. Like I would start sweating when I used to speak to people. I still do a little bit today, but it's definitely got a lot better. It's definitely improved a lot much more. Um, yeah, so whenever I used to speak to people, I would sweat. And then I would start to overthink a lot of things on top of that too. And at the time, my freshman year, I was smoking a lot, which was one of the reasons why I believed I overthink. Which was one of the reasons why I believed I was overthinking a bunch of stuff. Then I realized um, last year, one of my friends actually gave me a book to read, which was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And at the time, I was pledging for a fraternity. So honestly, if you guys don't know, in pledging with pledging for a fraternity, you're not supposed to speak to people as one of the restrictions. But obviously, like I went borderline, I spoke to him. And I'm actually grateful that it happened because that actually opened my life to a lot more things and what I could achieve for myself. So he gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and honestly, when he gave me the book, I was like, I'm not gonna read this because at the time, I'm not the type of person that would read books because genuinely, since I was a kid, like I disliked reading books because I felt like it was boring, in my opinion. So COVID happened and quarantine happened. So I'm like, all right, I'm playing Xbox like 2 to 3 weeks straight. This is getting boring. So let me read this book real quick. So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I finished it within the month. And I'm like, wow, this book is inspiring and I need to change my life immediately. So as a result of that, I started working a lot more. I started investing into the stock market because if you guys have ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about investing, investing, investing. Like that is number one rule to invest because if you don't invest into either yourself or into a money making machine that's going to generate you revenue, like the stock market or crypto, you won't be able to gain the success that you want for yourself financially.
Yeah.
So I began doing that for about a couple of months. I go into college in September, right? Because I've been investing strictly in the stock market. I never invested into myself at the time. I was just strictly investing into the stock market from June all the way till present times till now still. But then I go into college in September. Um, During college semester, I definitely did gain a little bit more confidence for myself due to the fact that I pledged for a fraternity, which is one of the reasons that built me up a little bit more. But I realized that I could still gain a little bit more skills for myself. So the semester ends in November, right? And I'm actually door dashing at the time just to generate some more revenue for myself, trying to get some money for myself so I can invest. So then one day I'm door dashing and I get a call. I see it says Canada. So then I answer the phone and it's Dan actually. And then he asked me a bunch of questions about myself and what I want to do for my future. Because he realized that I read his ebook. And I read his ebook, I believe, in October, just because I just wanted to see something that could help me and develop me. Because I was also looking at a bunch of YouTube videos trying to upgrade my confidence. But honestly, watching videos doesn't really help unless you actually speak to somebody,
Hmm.
which is one of the benefits out of the program, because you're actually able to speak to Daniel whenever you want. You can pick a time to speak to him. He speaks to you for an hour. It's amazing. So, um, yeah, so I get a call from Dan. He asked me what I want to do in my life. I told him like I have a future to become a millionaire. Like that is my number one passion right now, my ambition right now. And I had to take the steps to do that. So he explains to me his program that he's doing, Master Your Stutter, helping to develop communication skills, confidence, and a bunch of other benefits. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, for me to be able to gain the success that I want in my life, I need the confidence and the communication skill sets that would set me up for life.
Hmm.
So as a result of that, I thought about it, I contemplated about it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, I was like, Nick, push your ego away and let somebody mentor you on to gain the success that you want for your life, which was
Hmm.
the main reason why I joined this program. So as a result of that, this was actually one of the craziest blessings of my life, because Dan has definitely taught me a lot within the 30 days that I've been in this program. It could either be the communication skills, how to be able to regulate your mentality, because at the time, as I said before, I was mainly thinking about negative thoughts. And I never really clicked and switched my negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And Dan actually speaks about that in the program and different ways you can do that. And mind you, I've only been in the program for a month. So imagine what the next couple of months is going to look like.
Hmm.
Me being able to actually change my mentality, even though there's a lot more development that can go through, for
Hmm.
me to be able to change my mentality from negative thoughts, like you won't be able to make it in life, because I was getting thoughts like that constantly and constantly, constantly, like each and every single day, because I mainly thought as a child, like I was going to be nothing in life. Like before, when I was a kid, I would have teachers tell me like, "Oh, well, the teachers would tell my parents like, oh, your child needs special education because of the way because I wasn't able to really communicate with other people."
Hmm.
So that obviously had an effect for me within the next couple of years, because if teachers are telling me like I deserve to be in special ed programs, like
Hmm.
that kind of actually has an impact on me, which was one of the reasons why I mainly thought, boom, like I won't be nothing in life.
Hmm.
Um, your family's going to be disappointed in you in life. I would constantly get thoughts like that. So after joining the program, I realized like those negative thoughts can, one, be changed into positive thoughts, and two, those negative thoughts won't get you nowhere in life, especially if you want to gain some kind of success for yourself.
Yeah.
So I realized that by me changing my mentality is definitely going to be beneficial for me and myself. So
And I kind of want to add, Nick, because I think this is one of the biggest things that I've seen. Like if we look at the transformation, I'm sure we'll do probably another one 3 months and 6 months, and this has only been about 30 days. But what I've kind of noticed about you, Nick, is like I feel like you have more. It's funny because what this program really is to learn how to be a confident communicator, but deep root is the core root of what the program really is for you to find real purpose in your life and for
mm,
you to be very clear on what it is and then have all the tools to go after it. And I think
exactly.
that's kind of where you're at right now, Nick, is like, correct me if I'm wrong, now being part of this program, you have clarity of where you're going in life and you have the tools and the right mindset. So kind of talk about that, because I think that's the real goal of where everyone wants to go to, have true happiness and real clarity.
Exactly. And that's one of the things too that that's benefited out of this program, because you're able to speak to Dan And on top of that too, he'll be able to guide you if you have anywhere that you want to do in life. Because of right now in my life, I'm doing copywriting. So I speak to Daniel literally every week, asking him for advice on what I should do, and he implements all. Well, it's crazy too because the information that he gives throughout the program, you'll be able to implement that actually into your life and into any skill that you want to develop, as in copywriting for me, for any
Hmm.
job that you wanna implement. It's crazy. And on top of that too, being able to speak to Dan and him guiding you and telling you the tools and steps that you should take for you to gain the gain what you want to accomplish for yourself is incredible.
Hmm. Hmm. That's awesome. So I want you to tell us about. So you just completed. It's funny. You completed a module one,
Yeah.
which is master your mindset. And the way I've kind of developed the program for everyone watching is there's about 6 modules roughly, and each
Mhm.
module has a workbook. And the biggest thing for you, Nick, is I don't just get you to like go through it once. I get you to actually know it.
Yeah.
And I want you to talk about that because not that you had some resistance, but it's new because I get you to teach this stuff to me. I want you to tell us about that, of you teaching the program and or teaching module one to me, and especially because you're public speaking. That's what the whole program is about, learning how to public speak. So tell us a little bit about that, and how that has made a big improvement on your life.
So actually I actually originally believed I was done with the module within the two weeks that Dan gave it to me. So coaching meeting comes in. I was watching the modules for like 2 weeks. Right when he gave it to me, I immediately watched it for like 2 weeks straight. So I get into the coaching call. Dan goes, "All right, Nick, it's your turn now to teach me the module one." So I'm like, "All right, I got this." So I go through each step I believe is correct, but Dan is like, "No, you gotta do it all over again because you messed up a couple of times." But I originally believed that I got it right, so I got a little bit frustrated. But I realized like I gotta be able to get this 100% because if I don't get everything 100%, then it won't benefit me to its fullest potential like it should.
Hmm.
So right after that coaching call, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go through each step multiple times throughout the day until I'm able to implement it into my head and I'll be able to explain it in point 0.5 seconds.
Hmm.
So that's exactly what I did. And
Hmm.
then told me like, Nick, you did what you had to do and you graduated into the next module. So right now I'm on module 2
Yeah.
and yeah,
But tell us how that made you feel. Tell us what you learned from that.
what I learned honestly was that for you to be able to gain the potential that you want, you are gonna have to go 100% and know what you're gonna have to know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Putting you
you,
on the spot, eh?
yeah, yeah. You're just gonna have to be able to know exactly what you have to do, so you'll be able to. Damn.
Well, let me let let me let me paint it like this.
Okay.
Like even with copywriting with you right now, Nick, if you look at it, a lot of people have too much information.
Mm,
It's like you can go on YouTube, you can go read a book, and you have tons and tons and tons of information. But the problem is, number one, are you executing on that information? And two, do you really know it, or did you just skim through it? And I think that's what my program is really all about. I'm getting you, Nick, to actually understand it.
yeah.
And when you understand it, you actually know it and you can live by it. I want you to tell us kind of a success right now that you're having with your copywriting business. You recently just, you bought a course, but then you started to get, you didn't have an actual path. So tell us some success that you're kind of getting right now. Cause now you're going from, someone who was a student to like, you're now starting to become the guy,
Yeah.
and that is inspiring. So tell us all about that, Nick.
So if you guys don't know what copywriting is, so essentially copywriting is just closing in print. So essentially, in the for the real definition of it, It's the ability to use persuasive words for somebody to buy a specific product from a specific business.
Mhm.
So honestly, I actually have another mentor named Dan Locke, and he's if you guys don't know, Dan Locke's an investor. He's a CEO for multiple companies, and I actually invested into his program because I believe like watching because I was watching a lot of his YouTube videos, and he discussed his high income skill sets is definitely a main priority if you want to gain success and for financially. So I began studying a little bit of like what high income skill sets are, and I saw copywriting. And it's funny too because Dan Locke's first high income skill set was copywriting. So I realized that if Dan Locke, somebody who was an immigrant, and when he first came to the country didn't know any English at all, if he was able to learn copywriting, and I was actually originally born in America, I felt like I would be able to actually learn copywriting, which is the reason why I invested into copywriting. And I took his course. Right after I took his course, like I completely felt overwhelmed. But you also have to realize overwhelming means growth.
Mhm.
So that overwhelming obviously had I definitely felt like a little pressure on me, but at the end of the day, I know that pressure developed me at the same time.
Yeah.
So once I was done with that, I had no clue where to start, where to go, because I'm fresh new. I'm a beginner. So then I speak to Daniel about this, and Dan is like, Nick, like these are the specific steps you're going to have to take.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, Dan actually he knows what he's doing. So let me listen to him. And it's crazy too because in the module, um, am I able to say it?
Yeah. 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 Say it, of course.
Okay. So in the module, he says, who do you listen to as in module one, as one of the basics, he said, who do you listen to? You listen to people who have what you want and people who have been in your shoes. So
Boom.
Dan's somebody that I most likely want to be like in the future because of the success that he has right now. So I'm like, all right, let me listen to him and let me do the steps that he tells me to do. I do it immediately, immediately get like 2 to 3 clients. Mind you, majority of people for in copywriting don't get 2 to 3 clients within a month. And that's what I learned from another advisor that I was speaking to. So as you could see, like just listening to Dan, obviously he's definitely going to teach you the steps that you should take for you to gain any kind of success that you want, no matter what. It could be finance, communication, anything.
Mhm. Yeah, and like, and this is why, like, obviously, I'm not a financial coach here, but what I do understand, this is the value of actually mentorship, is when you have a coach and not just a video set, they can see the things that you just can't see.
Exactly.
You know, what I'm really good at is helping people communicate better and be able to speak and connect with others. But I also have a business background. I also know success is a formula. You just do this, and it's a basic, and it applies to copywriting. It applies to a relationship. It applies to communication. And so when I see someone like you, Nick, really grow and gain success, and now take an idea and put it into work, it just shows, you know, your whole life is getting better, and that's what I'm all about. So Nick, the last question I have for you is, you know, for all the people that are currently watching this right now and they're on the fence, and they're thinking about, should I do this or not? Is this really meant for me? What are some words that you have for them? Even the Nick 30 days ago that was like, I don't know, man, I don't know, I think so, maybe. What words or advice would you have for them?
Do it. Do it. I'm telling you, I was once in your guys' shoes. I'm contemplating whether or not to join the program. And then I took that one risk, and that one risk and sacrifice definitely benefited me. And there's a lot more growth for myself. So if you want to become a different version of yourself and gain more growth for yourself in the future, do this program. Do this program. It will benefit you, your family, and your friends on top of that too. You'll be able to influence other people. If they're going through a bad day, you'll be able to influence them and show them like change whatever you're doing. Like say if you're smoking continuously all the time, you could show them like that's not the proper way to do it. You need to be able to change and do something that could regulate and help you build the mentality that you want. So if I were you guys, I would definitely take this program. This program definitely taught me a lot mentally and yeah, just mentally, really, mentally and financially, it really has taught me a lot. So take this program, guys, because it's definitely going to be beneficial for your life. It definitely was beneficial for me.
Cool. Well, it's only been 30 days. We got a lot more to go. And I appreciate you, Nick. I um, appreciate your work ethic. You know, you're someone who takes the advice and then applies it. And you know, I tell this to everyone who even works with me. Just because you want to work with me or you have the money, that doesn't mean I'm going to accept you.
Yeah,
There's a level that I'm looking for, which is, are you teachable? Are you willing? Are you going to put in the work? Are you going to go above and beyond? Or are you just going to wish that it's going to come to you? And when you have the combination of the right information, the right tools, the right mentorship, plus the right type of work ethic, it's game over. And when I interview Nick, you know, in a couple months from now, and he's gone from 2 or 3 clients to, you know, 30 to 50. It just shows if you could do it. Look, the
more
biggest
growth.
smile I'm saying. So Nick, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for everyone who is currently on the fence right now, listen, go to, you know, watch the training at masteryourstutter.com, book a call with my office after. The call's free. And what we're really going to do is we're going to do a deep dive into your life, into what do you want in life? You know, is this a good fit for you? And, you know, should you make this investment? This is not a purchase. Like, I want you to understand when Nick invests into this is an asset into making him a better person. We're not buying a car here. We're not buying, you know, a fancy shirt or a fancy designer belt here. We are buying or
Like,
we are investing into the asset. So when Nick goes from 21 to 23 to 25, he is now worth more to the marketplace. He
exactly.
can now communicate better. He can now have the confidence, whereas other 20-year-olds who are just partying and having a good time, when they're 25, Nick is going to be all the way up here. And that investment is going to make the difference in the long run. So Nick, any last words that you have?
Nah, that's it, man. I appreciate you so much, Dan. I really do, man. I really do appreciate you a lot, man. You definitely taught me a lot. Like I tell myself this like every single day. Like, I'm so serious. No,
Yeah,
man, I
people
really
can.
appreciate you, man. Thank
Awesome.
thank you.
I appreciate you too, and I'm glad you took the risk, dude. So
Thank you, man. Yeah, this was definitely the best risk and sacrifice I could ever do for my life.
that's awesome. Nick, we will see you very soon, and
Thank
we'll
you, guys. Have a
see you
nice
later.
day, guys.